Okay, I'm going to go through a bunch of your phone calls, and coming up, I'm going to play these new PSAs that are running on TV, radio, everywhere with Obama, with all these pictures of great humanitarians and people giving in soup kitchens, getting you ready for this. Just like when they give people AIDS and the vaccines, HIV, they then institutionalize it and make it all about red ribbons and everybody's part of it. Or when all these kids are dying of cancer now from the shots and other things, they institutionalize that and make it all a fun thing, and you're part of a group now. I mean, it's so cold-blooded and sick what they're doing. And Hooge is a director for local TV. Well, it's no secret. You work at a local TV news channel. Hooge, this is the American dream. Remember that woman? I'm going to have in here later. Paul Hartman, nicknamed Hooge. This is the American dream. Is it okay if I talk about you? Remember that lady saying to George Bush, "I work 3 jobs," and he said, "Oh, that's the American dream." Well, the American dream is being able to save enough money to live decent, to be able to innovate, to not have bureaucrats on your back, to be able to work one good job and have an upwardly mobile working class that can become middle class and grow the middle class and shrink the underclass. Hooge gets up at 2:30 every morning. 2:30 every morning. He gets into work at 3:30. 3:30 at CBS here locally. And he's paid less than he's paid here. And he isn't paid a lot here, folks. And then he works till 11. And then he doesn't have time to eat. He has to take a sack lunch. He eats while he drives over here. And then he works here till 5. Then he goes home to his wife and children. And how old are you? 27? And he's a smart, great guy. Been working in radio and TV for a decade. At minimum wage, basically. I mean, he runs the CBS, show in the morning. Now, that's an example of what we're talking about and where all of this is going. And Barack Obama says, get ready for the pain. And while he's there this morning, I said, hey, I want to run those new propaganda PSAs that the government and the people pay for, because a lot of channels get partial money to air these, and then they get aired for free because the FCC says you have to air a certain amount of these. And what are they? Anti-gun commercials, tattle on your neighbor commercials, anti-marijuana commercials to bolster the police state so we can pay for people in prison, nonviolent. All the government ships in the narcotics. And he said, yeah, I saw those PSAs this morning. They're airing everywhere. And it's a PSA. One of them is a PSA to go join Barack Obama's private group. And he's going to have the forced government groups we've got to go serve in. But then the private group, and they're running TV and radio ads and print ads everywhere. It's all over television. You're seeing them. You're watching television. I mean, is this Nazi Germany? Is this the Twilight Zone? Do you understand what it means to have a private army, a private group? And again, to make it sound good, it's soup kitchens. Then you read, it's tattletale squads and everything else. They're getting everybody recruited. Oh, we're going to help the old people. And have some soup kitchens. Come on in here. Come on in here. Come on in here. It's a government group. Come join it. And it's a private group. I mean, this is a nightmare. It's like, well, you're against feeding the homeless? It has nothing to do with that. It's youth brigades. It's tattletale squads. Read the fine print. And all these suckers going, well, he's good. He's inviting me, and I'm part of the government now. And they're going to give people uniforms? What's next, armbands? They got 47,000 troops and police on the streets searching people? All right, let's go to your calls. I'm going to go quickly to each caller. Scott in Pennsylvania, go ahead.
Yeah, hey, Alex, I just wanted to have some positive points here. The Young Americans for Liberty are all over the nation distributing stuff against Obama. They have posters and other things. The
true grassroots, not the false counterfeit.
Right. And in a few months, there's going to be a Continental Congress, which is sponsored by Bob Schultz and We the People Foundation in Philadelphia. And they're having meetings all over the country now to get us back to the Constitution.
And the system knows all these true grassroots groups are exploding, so they're forming their counterfeit citizen groups to go after us.
Right. And then there's a gold money bill in Indiana that's in the state, and there are a few other states that are trying to get it passed as well.
Absolutely. The elite know as they squeeze us, that will form resistance. That's what Northcom and the troops are for. They've admitted themselves. And so that's why us exploding our numbers to their unstoppable level is so key, and I see it happening. I mean, I can't, this week, famous rock star called, and may come on the show, but is scared to, but wants to know what they can do. One of the founders of hip-hop called and wants to come in the studio this week, but his manager on his Texas tour, he's not sure if he can, but he's going to be on the phone. I talked to, I can't say who I talked to, with one of the, let's just say it's been the top TV show on television. The entire cast are huge fans. They listen to the show. They watch the show. I mean, literally all the top stars. It's like wildfire. Then I talked to another big Hollywood star I know this weekend. They said that my material alone is just all over Hollywood, everywhere. They're freaking out. They're understanding what's happening, a large percentage. And then I talked to, well, I'm not going to get into it. And I'm not going, ooh, I know these stars and people. I'm not contacting them. They're contacting me. You understand that? Do you understand that Willie Nelson just called my office? Do you understand? Months ago. I mean, this is happening because they're out there waking up. They're out there seeing what's going on. Now, meanwhile, they're trying to counter with this new fake Hollywood thing for Obama, and these aren't bad people. They're useful idiots. They saw how bad Bush was. They're hoping there can be change. But they're going to know that we told them it was a fraud, and they're going to see the fraud quicker because we're there pointing it out. Go ahead.
There are attempts like Georgia and Mumbai and everything else.
I'm not ignoring you. They're playing a video over here. We're going to play this video later. It's one of these disgusting Obama things. Go ahead.
Yeah, all their false flag attempts have failed. The Greek anarchists and the Gaza into Israel, all of that has failed. So I don't think that they're going to have a big backing for a new world war. It's going to have to be an economic war.
But you heard Ron Paul in the first hour say they may stage something.
Right. And I think the biggest Achilles heel for this administration is what they promised, because that's what the young Americans for liberty are trying to point out, is that he promised change, he promised reform. They have to shove that in their face and say, this is what you promised. Give us what you promised. We want peace, and we want more jobs and more money to us.
Well, see, what they're doing is they're going to bankrupt the economy so bad where the only jobs will be government through a private corporation. I appreciate your call. Good to hear from you. Let's talk to David in Wisconsin. You're on the air, David, worldwide on the coronation of the Supreme Leader.
Yeah. Alex, how are you?
Fired up. Born again hard.
Hey, listen, I originally called for Mike because he was trying to compare Obama to Lyndon Johnson and all that, not knowing that Lyndon Johnson's complicit in JFK's murder and all that kind of stuff.
Well, let's not bash Mike. He tries.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is I'm going to send you something every month, rededicate myself to doing something for your program. But I came up with an idea that maybe you should have a product like Alex Jones Organics or something like that. And
I know. I've just got to try to organize that and get it.
Like coffee or something, something that would sell for everybody, and then have it just a little bit cheaper than regular organic, And you with your name alone, it would just go like crazy.
Well, the problem is listen, I was up here till 11 o'clock last night working on the film. The Obama film. Banking film's really what it is. Police state film, but it's all about him. He's the thread. And I'm not whining. I couldn't go to sleep. And I got home, and I did like a 30-minute audio blog. I didn't like it, so I did a 49-minute one. And my wife comes out on the back porch at 1:35, and she goes, "What are you doing? You're going to have to get up in 5 hours." And I said, "I can't stand it. I've got to warn these people." I see them all being conned and manipulated, because I know we're having an effect. That's what makes me burn with desire to fight, because I can't believe in my life, thanks to you, the listeners, and the way you're waking people up and telling people about the show, how many people we're reaching. It's incredible. It's Alex, incredible. It's with the responsibility.
Alex?
Yes.
I want to just encourage you to keep going. I know that you're not endless energy, but you are pretty darn endless energy, and your wit and your mind that God's given you. I'm just going to instill a blessing on you, and I know everybody that listens wants the same thing. So God bless you, Alex. I feel so much for you, okay?
God bless you. And I want to say this. My grandmother, great-grandmother, but she's not my great-grandmother. I mean, she's a great person, has been dead for about 5 years. She prays for me every day, and she means it. I mean, and I can feel it. And I've had things happen in my life that are just incredible, and things happen by the miraculousness of God that I survived. And I know I've always had a mission. We all have a mission in life. And my grandmother's prayers are precious to me, and I need them, and I need all your prayers, but you need prayers as well. And they're real. People can laugh at it, they can make jokes because they just don't know. And I just need the prayers because I'm not even afraid of them killing me or setting me up or destroying me in the media or something, which I know they've tried and planned, and all the stuff we go through that we don't talk about that goes on behind the scenes are blessings to us because we know that it means we're hitting the enemy hard right between the eyes.